Hello everyone, this is Captain Negan speaking. Today I'm going to show you an interesting racetrack I found, and you'll be like, well, I already know this place. This is where you start doing racing with ships, and you would be correct. So this is Loreville, right next to Hurston. But what's interesting with this location is it actually can be used for something other than ship racing. I'm talking about cyclone racing. So the idea is that I would like to share a nice path I found, which you can follow and have an interesting race. I call this the Loreville Derby, and I'll show you around with the ship first. I'll do a second part for on a rover, so you can get the feel from inside the vehicle. It can be a fairly confusing if you just do it from the vehicle, so that's why I'm sharing you from above. Now, usually you would go through that gate here to get started with the race, but the issue is that there's a major obstacle for if you want to do it on the ground, so I assume that's the reason why nobody went that way and just did the race with the rover, though it would be pretty cool. So what I'm talking about here is a different path. And the actually interesting part with this location is it actually comes with some landing gears right over here. So you can come here with your vehicle, your ship. You can drop your cyclone, and you get started with the race. Now, the way you want to get started is you want to go down this path here, and don't worry about damaging your vehicle too much. Unless you actually hit another vehicle, it's unlikely you're gonna blow apart. So you can go down here, and you see this gate here is the actual starting point for the race. So I'm gonna follow it with my Pisces so you can get the feel. Well, let's go. The first checkpoint, I would call it, is right here. So you see that thing over there, the crane. You turn left here, and then there's this factory which actually acts as a wall. But you can go on top of it, even though it will feel awkward, and you'll see it when I do the cyclone part. This is where you want to go, and you just follow it, and don't worry about, like, see that there's it looks like you won't be able to cross, but you actually can. Then right here you go up this little hill, and then you take a right turn towards the factory. So just keep going. See on the left there's this cliff which prevents you from being able to go there, but eventually you reach a point where it's much flatter, and there's enough traction on the cyclone to actually be able to climb this. So you just follow this red pipe thingy, and then you'll see that there's this gate here, if you will. So you just go in there, then you follow it. It kind of feels like a path, so you just follow the path until a certain point. Now this is a bit of a weird location, so to follow the path you kind of need to go through on top of these rubbles right here, and then you just keep going. Now I assume if you're going to do this race with multiple people, there's going to be a bunch of collision in that specific area, and it's fine. It's part of the fun, right? Then you just keep going on up to the end of the track, and here you should be able to kind of jump right inside what I'll call the refinery. Right? You see that the chimney here, and this path here is pretty straight, and then there's an interesting path you can keep following. And then eventually we're going to want to do kind of a U-turn. You can go through the yellow thingy, or you can just go next to it. And then you follow this path right here under the red pipes. I'm not going to go there with my ship, but you can definitely do it with a cyclone. So you just follow this again, and then you go down there. It's kind of a jump here, but again, you're going to be safe, so you should be able to jump on this path right underneath this pillar thingy. Now, technically, I mean, this valley kind of goes for quite a while, and it's possible that you should be able to eventually circle around and reach the point I'm going to show you. But just because it's too easy to climb at any point, as you can see, there's a bunch of rocks here and there, but nothing that really prevents you from climbing. So you're going to want to actually climb this hill, even if it's fairly steep, and you should eventually be able to reach this plateau here. So you just follow this. It's much more dangerous. Like you can't really see it from above, but all these stones here are actually obstacles you have to navigate through. And there's also some roots and some dead trees here and there that you can collision with. So it's an interesting part of the track. And you just follow it. You just follow. You don't go down yet. On the right side, follow until this point where you just want to take a right. Again, you kind of follow the path, so it's fairly easy. Sorry about all this rain and wind. I mean, can't do much about it. Now, from this point, you should be able to see. Oh, sorry, from. Actually, you don't want to go. You don't want to go there. Sorry, I picked the wrong path. So you want to go instead right of this pillar, and then you go down again. It's gonna feel awkward, but you can go on top of that up to the red pipe. Here you want to make a right turn and jump down. Not into the refinery, you just want to go back on this path, which you might be able to recognize is actually back on the same gate than before. And we're just going to follow the same path, but on the other side. And then you just go down a hill, and you're back on this road here, up to like the kind of wall we went above earlier. But instead of going back on the wall, unless that's what you want to do. If you want to do a shorter version, you can just go back this path and come back towards the gate, the starting point. But that's not what we're going to be doing here. We're just going to continue on this road between the rocks, and then you can keep going between the rocks. It's kind of a jump down into the valley. So we just continue. Now there's a bunch of obstacles. It feels as if they really intended for this to be like a track, or like it's like kind of a quarry, or I'm not exactly sure. But there's a bunch of obstacles you have to dodge, and you want to reach. You see this big wall here? There's an actual hole in it. So you just continue through the gate, and you follow the valley. Now this is much flatter, there's much less obstacles. This is where you want to go as fast as you can. And you continue until you reach the second layer of wall. But instead of going through the gate, this time you see that there's a small path on the left side, so that's where you want to be. Just follow this little path. There's a bunch of obstacles on it. If you fall down, it's fine. You can just go like from a later point. And then you're kind of above the wall, and you're going to keep following the path, but not for long. Eventually you'll reach this point where you can kind of go on this little path here that goes up. So you just follow that. Again, a bunch of rocks, but nothing you can't dodge. Though it might feel a bit awkward at this specific location. So you continue, and then what you want to do is you want to continue again, but the path kind of ends. So you want to go up here, climb this hill. It's not that steep. And then you dodge the obstacles. And from here you can see there's a big rock right there. And there's the Loreville Tower, I'm not sure how you call it. So we're just gonna go in between them. And if you come here during the night, it's actually pretty nice to see the view. So you follow this. Again, still a bunch of obstacles, but nothing you can dodge easily. Plenty of opportunities to get a better place in the race. I mean, you can just do it for fun without racing. It's also fine. Then up here, and we're back at the start, and this would be the end of the race. You can just grab back your ship that you left on the landing pad, and that's it. Simple as that. So if you're still interested, you can watch the second part, which is going to be with the rover. See you then.